Hey guys, it's Jack and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we are doing a hairstyling video, which I know you guys love. So in today's video, I'm sharing with you guys 4 different braided hairstyles that you can do with short hair. My hair is growing, but I do have these layers here, so makes my hair a little bit tricky to work with when it comes to doing super intricate braids and things like that. But I'm going to show you guys 4 different hairstyles that actually work with this hair length. So if you want to find out these braided techniques, then just keep on watching. So hairstyle number 1 is the twist braid headband with straight hair. I mean, you could do all of these with straight hair, you could do all of these with curly hair, but for the styling purpose of this, I'm featuring it on straight hair. So for this, the twisted braid, it's super easy, and this is going to be a great hairstyle to do, a braided hairstyle to do if you don't know how to really braid or do like a French braid or Dutch braid. If that's just a little bit too tricky for your hands to maneuver, the twisted braid is going to be your go-to. So you want to start by brushing your hair and creating a center part here. And what you want to do is take a small section of hair, just kind of like this skinny little rectangle of hair right here, and then you're going to split this into 2 sections. So normally when we work with braids, you're working with about 3 sections usually. But for this one, we're only working with these 2 sections, a front section and a back section. Also keep in mind, this might be a little bit tricky to see because my hair is like black and I have no color or dimension within my hair, so it might be a little tricky. So I'm going to try and angle myself in a way where you can kind of see it better, but I apologize in advance if it's a little bit tricky. So you've got your front section and your back section. What you want to do is take your front section and twist it back, or just pull it back. So now they're crossed, and the piece that was your back section is now your front section. So now you have these, you want to take your thumb and index finger on both hands and just pick up a small section of hair and add it to each section. So now you still have the same sections, but there's just a little bit of hair added to each one. So now we're going to repeat the same process. Take the front section and twist it back. And so now what was the back is now the front. So you've just crossed those. And we're gonna use our index finger and thumb to pick up small little sections again to add into the sections that we're holding. So there we go. And we're just gonna keep repeating this process, grabbing more hair, twisting back, grabbing more hair, and then twisting back. So this is definitely the easiest of all of the braids. So you can decide how far you want to go back, but once I get to like behind my ear, I'm gonna stop it right there and take a small little elastic here and just tie this and secure it down. And so I don't know if you guys can see, but we have this little twist here. So you get sort of this braided effect, but it wasn't a full-on braid. And what you could do is also hold down this elastic and gently pull at the hair just to give it a little bit more volume and texture. And I find that that gives it a pretty cool look. See? Look at that. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! I always love me some good texture. So now we're going to repeat the same thing on the next side. So grabbing a small little rectangle of a section here and splitting it into 2 and repeating that same process by taking the front section and twisting it back. And then we're gonna add some more hair to each section and then continue that process. Twist it back and then pick up more hair. And that is it for this first hairstyle. You don't have to create as much texture if you don't want to, but I always like a little bit of volume in all of my hairstyles, so that's why I decided to tug on them. But again, you can leave them flat if that's what you prefer. But that is it for this twist braid headband hairstyle with straight hair. Okay, so now moving on to hairstyle number 2, which is the half up, half down double French braid. For this, I feel like it gets a little technical because what you want to do is divide your hair from top to bottom, so we have the half up, half down situation going on, right? But then you also want to divide your hair in half, like this top section, divide that in half, so you have these two sections, like that. But it takes me just a little bit of time because I want to try and get the sections as straight and even as possible. Okay, it looks pretty good on that side. Let's see here. Looks pretty straight on that side too. Okay, we are good. So what makes my life easier is actually flipping my head forward and securing this bottom part so it's just like out of the way and I don't like reach for any of this hair. So I'm gonna flip my hair and then grab a hair tie and secure this part. Okay, so we've got that out of the way, and now with the hair that's like left, we want to split this into two. So I'm gonna take my comb and just go all the way back. Let me just tie this up real quick and pull this side. Let's see if I got it straight. Oh, it's a little wonky. I don't know if you guys see that. It's not perfectly straight. It's not perfect, but we can work with that. So since this section is down, we'll go ahead and start with this. So you want to work with your hair kind of going back. So I'm just kind of using my fingers to brush that back. You want to take a section of hair and divide that into 3. Now I've done a detailed video on how to French braid, so if you watch this video and you still think it's a little bit tricky, you don't quite have the hang of it yet, then check out my detailed video on how to French braid. I think you'll find that very, very helpful. So I'm gonna split our hair into 3 sections here. You want to take the side sections and cross it over the middle. Cross that over the middle, and then pick up some hair, cross it over the middle. So we're just adding hair to the outer sections and crossing the outer sections over the middle sections, if that makes sense. And you just want to go all the way down until all of your hair that we have sectioned off, till all of your hair is secured in this braid. So the reason I find this half up, half down version a lot easier with shorter hair or layered hair is because you don't have to worry about going all the way down your hair, because what I have found with my hair, my layered hair and my shorter hair, is that I can start braiding and it'll look good for a little while, but then once I get like way back here, it is just not holding up anymore. Okay, I think we have reached the end. So you can either just continue braiding it all the way down or just securing it with an elastic here at this point. And I think I'll just secure it with an elastic. So we have the little tail here, which will just blend in once we take out this ponytail over here. So I'm going to repeat the same thing over here on the next side. So the thing with a French braid is that it keeps it nice and tight against your head and it's pretty flat, so you don't get a ton of volume with this particular hairstyle, but I wanted to show you the different options and the different braiding styles. I'm going to now do the same thing over here on this side. And I hope that was like pretty easy to understand. When you split your sections, the side sections are going over the middle section. Every time the middle section becomes the new outside section, that's when you add more hair to the section, to the braid. Does that make sense? So we've got that, and then we're just going to secure the end with an elastic. Again, you can finish the braid all the way down to the end of the hair. Like you can finish your braid all the way here, but I just find it's better to stop here, especially if you have like shorter layers like I do. So now that we have that done, I'm gonna go ahead and remove the hair tie from the bottom section that we had. And if you want to pull some hairs to frame the face, you can definitely do that. And that is it for this half up, half down double French braid hairstyle. Moving on to hairstyle number 3, we are going to attempt because I don't do this braid often, we are going to attempt to do a waterfall braid, which to my understanding is an easier version of French braiding. So if that last one was a little too challenging for you, you even watched my previous tutorial that I've done on French braiding and you still can't get it, maybe try this one. Maybe the waterfall one will be the one that works for you. So for this, you actually want a deep side part. So this center part, it ain't gonna cut it for this hairstyle. So I'm going to create a deep side part here. That seems good right there. And basically this braid, we're gonna focus it here on this side that has the majority of hair. Again, I don't do this hairstyle often, so let's see how it turns out. Woo! I need to push up my sleeves for this one because we're getting serious. We're gonna grab a section here, and similar to the French braiding style, you want to split it into 3, and you want to basically start it out like a French braid. So taking this front section, crossing it over the middle section, and then picking up some hair with this one, crossing it over the middle section like so, picking up some hair here, crossing it over, right? So far so good. Picking up some hair, crossing it over. And now here is where you want to pay attention. This is where it gets a little technical, right? So we have our 3 sections here, and this is the piece of hair that we would normally grab more hair and then cross it over the middle, right? But we're actually going to drop this and pick up hair right behind it and then continue on with our French braid. And then once we get to this front again, drop that, pick up some more, and then continue on. So again, it might be hard to see because I don't have like any color in my hair for layers or definition, but you can kind of see we've got this French, it almost looks like a half French braid going on because these bottom layers from this section are just being dropped down. And I find this super easy and super flattering with hair that has a little bit of layers to them. So this actually might work out perfectly for some of you. And once you get to the back of your head, you can just secure it with an elastic. Whew, that was an arm workout, you guys. Hopefully you guys can see that, the little braid that we got going on. If you've got highlights, this is going to look gorgeous on your hair. And that is it for this 3rd braided hairstyle. And last but not least, we have one of my favorites, which is the Dutch braided fringe, half up, half down bun. I know that was a pretty lengthy description of this hairstyle, but there's a lot going on, but it's actually really easy and I think it's so cute and definitely one that I wear all the time. You guys know the half up, half down is just my jam. I love half up, half down hairstyles. So for this hairstyle, you want to keep the same deep part that we have here and go ahead and create a Dutch braid. Now, Dutch braid to me is the easiest braid to do, similar to the French braid, but instead of taking the outer section and going over the middle, you want to take the outer sections and go under the middle. So the middle section's going over the outer sections. Again, just like the French braided tutorial, I also have a detailed tutorial on how to French braid. So if this video seems a little confusing to you, you can check out my Dutch braid tutorial for a very detailed walkthrough on how to create a Dutch braid. And again, I think you'll find it very helpful, just like my French braiding one. So we're going to start with taking a section, rectangle section like this, and dividing that into 3 and crossing the outer sections under the middle sections and then picking up hair. And my hands just find this so much easier to do by picking up hair and then crossing the outer section under the middle section and then picking up hair and then just repeating that process. I can do this so much quicker. I can do this without looking in a mirror. Like, it's just so much easier for me. So I'm just gonna go back past my ear, and then I'm actually going to finish off this braid towards the end. So I'm done picking up hair now, but I'm just going to finish off with a 3-strand braid until I reach the end, and then we'll secure it with a hair elastic. The reason I love doing a Dutch braid, well, number one, it's just so much easier for my hands, but You can also pull apart the braid to create more texture. Like this is the braid if you want like a big voluminous fat braid. This is the braid to do. So I'm just gently tugging this. I'm not tugging it too much, but the beauty of a Dutch braid is that you can pull these apart so much to create so much volume within your braid, and I just love that. You know me, I love a textured braid, fat braid. I'm all about that. But we've got a little bit of texture and volume there, as you can see. And we also have it secured in a little hair elastic, so it's not going anywhere now. So I'm going to go from like my temples or like the ends of my brow and take a section going back and then just finger combing my hair upwards, because we're gonna create a bun with all of this. And I did gather that braid, like the end of that braid, into this section. So it's going to be added into this braid. And I'm going to twist and start creating a braid here. Don't worry about the little flyaways right now or like any hair sticking out, because we are going to go in and fix that here in a second. So I'm going to take a black elastic. This is a thicker hair tie rather than like these little skinny elastics. I'm taking a thicker one to really hold down all of this hair. So we've got our bun, and this looks a little crazy to me right now, so this is not the finished look. But I'm going to adjust this bun. Sometimes you may need to grab a bobby pin or two for this. But I'm thinking I want to pin this down, make it a little bit bigger here, and then pin this section down. And then before I do any more pinning, I actually want to, I'm gonna gently hold this bun down and pull some of this hair out. Not all the way, but just to add some volume and texture to the hair. Can you tell that's a huge thing with all of the hairstyles that I create? So it's not super flat against my head, because I don't really like that. And then this little loopy thing I'm just going to pin down. So if you have any weird hairs like that are just kind of out of place, just use a bobby pin. I'm just gonna pull a few of my little baby hairs around my face. Normally I would curl my hair at this point, but I actually kind of like how it looks with the straight hair, so I think I'm just going to embrace the straight hair for today. So that is it for this fourth hairstyle, the fringe Dutch braid half up, half down bun. So I'm obsessed with this. I hope you guys give these hairstyles a try. If you don't give any of the others, at least give this one a try, because this one is definitely my favorite out of the bunch, and it's been my go-to lately for this month. So give this one a try. And like I mentioned, I normally add curls to this, and I would just take my flat iron and just twist some of the pieces back to add some messy curls to my hair. But yeah, I'm kind of liking how it looks with the straight hair. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments which hairstyle was your favorite. 1, 2, 3, or 4. And if you want more hair inspiration, hair ideas, hair tutorials, I will leave my entire playlist of all the hair tutorials I've ever done in the cards and in the description box for you guys. I have so many different hair tutorials. I have had every length you can imagine. I've had short hair, long hair, bob, pixie, buzz cut. I've had everything. You're bound to find a hairstyling video that works for you. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!